Hello everyone and welcome to the Kukuli Bushcraft channel. Okay, so I'm out in the forest for a week. I'm trying to conserve the battery of my phone, so I'm not going to be filming very much at all. But what I figured I would do is I figured I'd share with you some of the equipment that we're using and some of the equipment that I've taken with me and what it's all for. A quick look round camp. This is a lower shelter made by Finrover, dating back to the 1930s, this shelter. And here we have two Primus Omni-Fuel stoves. So in these conditions, benzene is the fuel of choice. And there we have a 6-man Lavo by Helisport. The Expedition Pulk, or Archeo. Mine's the one on the right, and they have solid bars for towing, which prevents the pulk from hitting you in the legs when you go downhill. And these are my skis. So Salomon backcountry skis, and I've got skins on them at the moment. The skins are removable. They're great for going up hills, not so good on the flat because you don't get any glide. And also everybody has a snow shovel. You always need a snow shovel. At the back here we have a parish pulk. So this is more of a standard pulk and it's just towed by a piece of rope. These are much more inexpensive than the expedition pulks. In the top of the pulk, underneath the snow shovel of course, I have 2 sleeping pads. So in good conditions I like to use the inflatable type, but you know, because of icing valves I don't use inflatable sleeping pads for more than one night in winter conditions. Right, back home now. So basically what happened was I had to stand in for an instructor on a survival course. I didn't find out until the day before, and I was working. I finished work quite late. I didn't have much time. Well, I was answering YouTube comments and things like that, trying to get on top of that side of things before I went away until the early hours of the morning. I had to be out in the terrain for 12 o'clock, so I quickly packed in the morning between doing a few other things. But basically, what I had in the pulk was this big bag. And the rucksack. So in the rucksack I keep basically standard hiking equipment. I've got all my cooking stuff. I've got one of these folder cups which I've had unfolded because it's not very easy to unfold them in cold temperatures. Okay, zebra billy can, that's the bag that it lives in. I've been using that to store other things. It's a bit of a squeeze to get the zebra billy can in that, and with big gloves on or cold hands it's not really happening. So I've got this in a plastic bag with some bits and pieces of food and stuff. So let's do cutting tools. Much less important than a good sleeping bag. Okay, so I've been carrying this on my salopettes. This is the Joker blah 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 Trampero, and I've only really been using that when I've been skiing, because this has been in the pulk, and at camp I've been using pretty much just the scrammer because it's good for fine stuff. If you follow the channel, you'll have seen this setup before, maybe not with the ferro rod. The ferro rod works great. I lit a fire the other night with very cold hands, and fat wood shavings, this is quite efficient, and then it just, yeah, it works good, this setup. That's something else that needs to be dried. So I'm just unpacking. I'm going to dry all of this stuff now. Yeah, also in the bag, first aid kit, Nalgene bottle, that flask. Nalgene bottles, they're great. They insulate, so your water doesn't freeze immediately. You've got a bit of time. But also, boiling hot water in that, put it in your sleeping bag, helps to keep you warm. So a tarp, I didn't use that. And I've also got plates, knives and forks, things like that, all in a bit of a disarray. But yeah, is there anything important I'm missing? I don't think so. I was missing a coat, that's quite important, that's quite silly. So the coldest temperature we had was -30 Celsius. So yeah, I'm wearing this, a little gilet thing. I can wear this underneath other layers. So I've had spare batteries in here, 2 mobile phones, well actually 1 mobile phone most of the time. This is my work phone, the Blackwater IP68, which I use at work and I also use for navigation. And the other phone, the one that I mostly use for YouTube, for editing videos and stuff, and as a backup phone, is in this little bag around my neck. I use that summer and winter. It's waterproof, and also it stays warm down here. So I've got 2 buffs, 1 polar buff and 1 lighter summer buff. So if it gets really cold, that can go over me nose, that can come up here. Like that. Trapper hat with a little petrol Taiga headlamp. I've also got a secondary headlamp, which is a rechargeable one, which is in another pocket right now. I like to keep things like this on my person, rather than stowed away in bags where they're going to get cold. So several tins of this stuff. So little liner gloves in pretty much every pocket. So 2 pairs of gloves when it's cold, at least. Yeah. Take some layers off now. So, quite annoying how I say so all the time, isn't it? I'm going to have to work on that. So I've got several wool layers. So wool, wool, more wool. So, padded trousers, I wear something over the top of these as well. Merino long johns and wool socks. I've only got 2 pairs because I've been skiing, and yeah, it's good to not have too much around your feet. At rest, I've been wearing something similar to these. I've left the ones I was actually using, but to go in the pulk, to walk around camp where the snow's nice and compacted, I had shorter ones, but more or less the same. So this is a rubber boot with a removable liner, so you can dry the liners out. So I took some stuff from work, some stuff from the house at work. I was in a bit of a rush and I forgot my snowmobile jacket, but I had this Dutch Army bear coat, which was perfectly good enough. So a big coat, as if I'm not by the fire and I'm not working, I'm not skiing, then I get cold. That's when I put my big coat on. But you know, those are quite rare occasions. So this was good enough. And these things, these are amazing. So I've been wearing these over the top of everything. They're Aldi fishing trousers, or fishing salopettes. I've had a knife strapped to the front on one of these buckles, and yeah, quite handy pockets. Waterproof, so great for rolling around in the snow, and really warm and very affordable. And there's my other head torch there. So that's one, that's a Sun Blesser that somebody sent me to do a review of, and it's perfectly good. The thing is, it's rechargeable, and I carry a power bank, but batteries die really quickly, and the most important thing is that I can contact civilization. So as if I can carry a few AAA batteries instead of having to recharge by cable. Cables also break. Excuse me. Much better. Much better. Right, sleeping bags. So, as if you're out and about in the Arctic, everyone's obsessed with cutting tools, but this is really where you want to spend your money. So this is a Corinthia Defence 6 sleeping bag. I think the comfort rating is down to about -20. So I could have done with spending a bit more money, really. And as if you do want a cheap cold weather sleeping bag, I would recommend the Snug Pack Antarctica. It's cheaper than this and it's warmer than this, and also I find with this, thank you Sam, I find with this it's a little bit tight around the chest. I will be doing a review of this at some point, but to go inside that, because it does get below -20 quite frequently, there's an old Salwa down sleeping bag. I've had this down to -7. That was a long time ago. It's seen better days. It's actually nearly as old as you, Puddy.
What?
This sleeping bag. How old are you now?
20.
20. Okay, you've got 4 years on this sleeping bag.
You thought I was 16?
Hey?
You thought I was 16?
I said nearly as old. Now be quiet. These Dutchies. Right, so it's a down sleeping bag. It's lost a bit of loft and a lot of feathers, but it still functions. Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. Adds a bit of warmth and it saves you from having to wash your sleeping bag. Apart from that, got lots of spare wool layers. And yeah, German Army wool scarf. A beanie that I didn't need. And basically every clean wool sock that I could find. To sum up, wear lots of wool. Did I mention that? And also a Fisker's axe costing €50 will cut more or less as much wood as a Gransfors Brooks axe costing €150. The same price difference in a sleeping bag can be a matter of life and death. Read up before you go. So learn all about frostbite, about hypothermia. If you feel your hands or feet getting cold, check them. Also, check each other's noses and stay warm out there. Well, I hope you found that interesting or useful, and yeah, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you all again soon for another Kookily Bushcraft video. Bye for now.